So I'm having my dinner in my tent because there's a lot of mosquitoes. Each time I've done this, and I keep saying this, every time I go camping,
turn right onto North Park Avenue. Then
I'm not sleepy yet. I'm still killing mosquitoes that are in here, and I don't know why. So this is how you don't drain your car battery, okay? Tip me over and pour me out. Where did that come from? So I went back to Didnt Springs, which was the spring area that I stopped by on my way to my campsite, because I knew that swimming was going to be off limits at Blue Springs where I was staying. Today, Saturday, was the leisure day, the day that I had no travel, no driving, and I walked all around Blue Springs. I saw the springs, they're gorgeous. I saw the river. You can't do anything. You can't kayak, you can't canoe, you can't take a riverboat ride. They have a glass bottom, I think that's at Silver Springs, there's like a glass bottom boat tour. You can't swim, you can't snorkel. So, you know, once you walk around the park and see it all, yeah, there's another hiking trail, but there's a few mosquitoes. So, and it started to get really hot. I came back to my campsite to eat something. I had the rest of that oatmeal, and it was actually kind of late. It was at noon. So pretty much that was my lunch. Now I'm heading back. I should be arriving back at my campsite around 5. And I'm gonna make 2 more burger patties, one for tonight, and then pack one for the road for tomorrow. And I should have one left in the fridge. I'll just make at home, I guess, when I arrive on Sunday. But I found myself at my campsite. I already saw the Thursby house. It's not much to see, you know, everything's pretty locked away. Like, there's not much other than like walking through 3 or 4 rooms. And I saw the spring, and I walked around in some of the trails. Not all the trails, but it is a little hot, and there's still a lot of bugs. So I found myself at camp just really dripping in sweat and getting bit by mosquitoes. And I said, you know what? Let's unplug, take off the hatchback tent, and head over to Didnt Springs. And that's exactly what I did. It was not hard. All I did was unplug the refrigerator and I unplugged the refrigerator and the air conditioning unit and the little power outlet that I have. It's like a little power source with a bunch of like outlets and USB ports. And I left the extension cords along with the adapter plugged into the electrical panel. And I just kind of like, you know, put the rest of the cables for the AC and for the fridge, just put them back in the car, took off my weather techs, just threw them on top of the bed, and shut the back door. Took off the hatchback tent. I threw it
in
over.
1 mile, turn right onto Southwood.
Oh my gosh. I threw it over the other tent.
Stay in the right lane.
I threw it over the other tent that I had out there, just so it wouldn't get dirty on the ground or wet. I didn't know what else to do with it. So I just threw it over the tent. And when I get back, simple, same process. I'm gonna back in, open up my hatch, put on my hatch tent, and reconnect all my things, my electrical components, such as the power supplies and the extension cords to my AC and my refrigerator, and we'll be back in business. Put my weather techs back up for the evening and start cooking. Once I'm done cooking, I'm gonna eat, pack away what's left, and then I'm going
Go
to
past this light, then at the next one, turn right.
In order to save time tomorrow with the packing up to go, I'm gonna start undoing some
At the light, use the right 2 lanes to turn onto South Woodland Boulevard.
I'm gonna start undoing some of the things that I don't need for the rest of the night and tomorrow. So for example, my pop-up tent, once I shower, I'm not going to be sitting and hanging out in my pop-up tent.
Turn right.
Once I'm showered, I'm pretty much ready for bed, and I don't want to get all dirty and sandy, you know, trying to put that thing away after I've showered. I guess I could do it tomorrow and then shower before I leave, but every time I've put everything away the morning that I'm leaving, I become a sweaty mess, and I have to take one more shower and then I check out and I leave, and I get home pretty late. So I want to get home a little earlier. I have some laundry to do, and I have to unpack all this stuff, put this car back to normal for tomorrow and for the rest of the work week. So I think I'm gonna take down a few things, you know, like the solar lights that are hanging off of these little pillars that I have that are attached to some bungees at the bottom of the picnic table. I think I'm gonna undo the bungees, take off the little picnic they're like little sticks that hold the lanterns. Just kind of undo them, put everything as much as I can back in the little tactical bags, and then just leave everything on the picnic table and cover it up with that tent that I'm using as a tablecloth, and just leave everything on there. Because in the morning I'm not even going to cook anything. I'm not going to make oatmeal, I'm not going to make coffee. Coffee makes me pee, and when I'm traveling...
In 3.2 miles, turn right onto West French Avenue.
When I'm traveling, it's very hard to gauge as I'm drinking my coffee when I'm going to have to pee, and usually when I do, it's very urgent, and I have to wait like 10-20 minutes. And it's happened to me every time I'm on my way to a campsite. But on my way back, I'm not drinking coffee. I'm just not. I'm just gonna have water, and I have a protein bar, and I'll have my little burger left over from tonight that I can eat on the road if I get hungry. And I'll stop if I need to. I'll stop for gas, obviously, but I shouldn't have that urgency. And I don't want to use any more cooking stuff. Everything's going to be put away. So when I wake up in the morning, it's going to be very simple. Remove all the weather techs, make room in the back for everything that's on the picnic table, which is basically my 2 tactical bags, my kitchen bag, my water jug, my cutting board, things like that. And once everything is up and loaded into the car, and I've unplugged everything, I have all my outlet stuff put away, my power source stuff, my adapter. I need to make sure my fridge is connected to my 12 volts in the back of my car, because it does still have food and raw meat in there. And then we can hit the road, and then we can head back home, and hopefully I can get home before 5. I think checkout is at 1, so I do have a good chunk of the day. But I just want to get back home a little earlier, because if I leave at 1, it's about a 4-hour drive, not considering a rest stop.
Stay in the left 2 lanes.
A pit stop for gas or to use the bathroom. So 5:30, maybe 6 is when I would get back.
Flood warning affected area ahead. Please proceed with caution.
If I leave at 1. So I'm going to try to leave a little earlier. Like this morning, I naturally woke up around 9 in the morning. If I wake up at 9, fine. Get dressed, pack everything up, and I'm heading out as soon as I'm awake. I'm not gonna waste any time. It's just that the last 2 times that I've camped, or 3 times rather, the setup was always more complicated. I did not put away anything the night before, so putting everything away so that I could leave took me about 2 or 3 hours. This time around, my setup did not take very long. I want to say under an hour. It was decent. I mean, I went to Didnt Springs, I swam, and then I got here after 3 p.m. I got to my campsite like at 4:30 or 5, and I was able to make my dinner and have my dinner and get ready to go take a shower at the bathhouse just as the sun was coming down. Sunset's around 6:45, so what, an hour and 45 minutes to set everything up to make my dinner and eat. The last 3 times I had to set up, it took me a good 2 hours. And then the last time with the big pop-up tent that I thought was going to be so easy, it took 3, because I set up my kitchen area inside my pop-up tent. So I brought little tables, and I brought extra chairs, and this time I didn't bring any of that. I brought 1 chair, and I just moved the picnic table. I'm not moving it back. They can move it back if they want. It was really heavy. I honestly hurt my hip a little bit moving that picnic table. Next time though, I think I'm gonna do things a little differently. I'm not gonna move the picnic table.
At the next light, turn right.
What I am gonna do is set up my pop-up tent behind my SUV so that it's also near the electrical components, and I can just use my cutting board and plug my hot plate, or my panini maker, or whatever I'm using, into the outlet, and just kind of cook it inside my little tent with the zipper open, and use the picnic table just to store stuff, because I did cooking
at the light.
I did some cooking at the picnic table, but I still was too far away to reach the outlet. So I had to like put the cutting board on one of the seating bench areas of the picnic table to then have my appliance.
Turn right onto West University Avenue.
Then have my appliance reach the electrical outlet so that I can cook. So I didn't really even cook on the table. I moved all that stuff over for nothing. So each time I've done this, and I keep saying this, every time I go camping,
turn right onto North Park Avenue. Then turn left onto West French Avenue.
I learn something new as to how to make it easier or better for the next time. And I have learned that less is more, actually. The more crap that you think you need, the more difficult it might make it for you. So keep it simple, silly. And I have sold tents that I think
at the stop sign.
I think I'm gonna sell the pop-up. I'm not sure yet, because it might be, I don't know, maybe good for summer when there's like a lot of bugs.
In about 2 miles.
She loves to interrupt me. Anywho, I can't turn it off while I'm recording. So I'm about to get to my campground and do what I gotta do. I have my hair up in a towel because I was swimming. I changed out of this clothes, put on my swimsuit, my wetsuit top, and a pair of shorts, just so that it's more bearable to get in that cold spring water. And then I took everything off. It's in a bag. It's wet. I hang everything up. Hopefully it dries, but the humidity picks up in the middle of the night, so it usually doesn't dry at night. Things dry like now, like in the afternoon with this heat and sun, or during the day. So I just hang it around the outside of my car. I wish they had some sort of, 2 beams or like one large beam, something where you can hang things to dry. That would be helpful. But I'm gonna head back, do what I'm gonna do, and I'll see you guys later. So I'm having my dinner in my tent because there's a lot of mosquitoes. Welcome. This little tent came in very handy because being out there, I was gonna get eaten as opposed to me eaten alive by mosquitoes. I got my little Louisiana, I don't know if you can see it, Louisiana hot sauce, polar seltzer, but we got some Pringles here. We got a little bit of these lemons, but there's very little left. I just brought what was like left over at my house. Same thing with these. I haven't touched these, but I just brought what was like running low. Oh, and I have a tangerine. After I'm done eating, I'm gonna take a shower. I may just hot sauce. Hang out here for a little while. Just because once I'm showered, I'm gonna have to be in the car and it's kind of tight now. I may hold off. Oh, and I got this cool bug thing. I think I'm gonna hang out here until it starts getting dark and then take a shower and then come back. Because once it's dark out here, you don't want to be outside. It's kind of scary. I guess that's why people make fires. There's a fire pit, but I didn't bring any firewood, so besides, I didn't want to smell all smoky. And once it's dark, I don't want to spend time out here. I just want to be showered and in my bed right over there that's waiting for me. You can see the little lights and everything. My neighbors are over there. I don't know if they can hear me, so. And there's my little car. She's all set back up, ready for the night. Got my wet clothes hanging, shoes out here. I use this to clean my feet off a little bit. Look at that, wow, dude. Got my food. My fan died. I tried charging it and it wouldn't charge. And then I have out there, I still gotta clean up my little panini grill where I use to make the burgers. And I have my Dr. Bronner's. So it's the final night. I'm already in bed. I have my tea. Let me show you what's going on here. So portable ACs need to drain water, and there's a little drain tube that leads outside. But if it's not perfectly level with the ground, if it's slightly tilted, the water won't drain all the way. And I noticed that earlier today. Oh man. I've also been killing mosquitoes that managed to work their way in here while I guess I was opening and closing. Hang on. Put this down. If I catch that sucker, he's mine. I've killed several already. Anywho, when I went to disconnect my car, take off that tent so I can close the back and drive over to De Leon Springs today, I tilted the AC outward and water dripped from the back of it. So I finagled some sort of way to level it because I have a feeling it's just not level straight this way. I feel like it's slightly tilted this way. It's a little more straight now because I took some of the, they're very thick. The power cord cable is very thick. The power cord for the actual AC, the power cord that I have for all these little electrical components that power my light switch and all my little lights and stuff, I stuck it underneath the legs on this side just to level it out a little bit. Let's hope it works. No, there really hasn't been dripping in my car per se, but I mean a little bit. Let me just double check something here. I'm having this on while I'm in the car. I also have, again, this thing and this annoying little, can't see it because it's too dark, but this annoying little thing that, you hear that? It's like a high-pitched beep every once in a while. So the rug down here is not wet at all. That's good. But before I go, I have to be mindful to tip me over and pour me out. Where did that come from? I have to tip it over and pour out any excess water. I have all my protection here. I have, this might look kind of crazy, but bear with me. Okay. AC's remote control. Taser gun. Right? The button here broke, but it still works. See that? Woo! Scary. Alright. We have a knife that flips open. And it straightens and locks it in place, and then you gotta bend this to bring it back down. So I'm not gonna do that right now. It's hard to do with one hand. This is human pepper spray. It's a jogger type of thing, so you can like put it in your hands like this when you're jogging, you know? And if you just sort of turn it with your thumb, it's exposing the spray, and you just press down, and this is the way to lock it. Now it's closed and you cannot, even if you press it, nothing happens. And this is the case for the taser. So I got those things there. This is just an alcohol and water spray that I've been using to spot treat the areas where I've killed mosquitoes because they've left stains on my roof. This is a whistle in case I need to make noise, but also my car keys, I gotta get them out, are very good for also making noise in the middle of the night if it's necessary by pushing the panic button. There's one here. I always carry both sets of my keys. And there's one here. The only thing I forgot to bring is aluminum foil. They say that when you're camping in your car, if your keys are in your car for a long period of time, if you have your key fobs in your car for a long period of time, your car's constantly reading that the key fob is near, and it can drain the battery of the key fobs. Luckily, I just replaced both of them, but the way to prevent that is you just wrap this with aluminum foil, and then the car won't be able to read it anymore. So obviously, if you push buttons and it's wrapped in aluminum foil, it's not gonna work. But I forgot to do that this time. I figured it's not gonna completely kill my new batteries just for these 2 days. But anywho, here we have the real bear spray, and this is very simple. You just, you know, pull this out. It says here, slide off before use, and then you press down on that, and that's where it comes out by. That's good for, you know, deterring animals and whatnot. So I'm glad I have that. And this is that annoying thing that I tell you about that beeps. See this? Hear that? It delivers a like supersonic, I guess, hypersonic sound that I guess bugs don't like. And then this has these little cartridges. You see how there's still bugs in here? You see? Ugh. Why am I like this? Like, I camp with my car, and yet I need it to be like clean all the freaking time. Is anyone else like this? Like, I carry around a little duster. Why is it so dirty here? Ugh. My goodness. The other day there was some bugs just in here, like up against the tent. In this box is a jumper cable that comes with a battery pack, so you can just jump yourself. No pun intended. And this is to inflate tires. Let's turn off this air for just a little bit because I feel like it's making a lot of noise. So this is how you don't drain your car battery, okay? Up in here, there's a carabiner. If you don't know what a carabiner is, let me show you real quick. You see this little thing here? It looks like a giant paperclip. You stick that in the locking mechanism for the trunk, because when the trunk closes, it has like a little metal piece like this, and it sits right on that little metal piece. This little metal piece here resembles the same shape as the bottom of the trunk, where when you close the trunk recognizes that it's closed. So the way you can tell it's working is that when you push the carabiner in there, when you look on your dash, which my dashboard, that's my steering wheel, by the way, I'm just hanging a towel to dry. The dashboard will display a red light when one of your doors is open, including your trunk. It'll show a red light when the trunk is open, and then as soon as I put that carabiner on, it goes away. None of these light sources are being powered by my car. Everything is powered by the electric panel that is provided by the campsite via extension cords, outdoor waterproof extension cords. So the air conditioning, the lighting, everything in here. Did I just spill my tea? God is just like trying to cut me some slack because I've been so clumsy lately. I've been dropping everything, spilling everything, breaking everything. Anyway, back to what I was trying to say earlier is that I could have sworn that when I went to leave this afternoon, early afternoon, like around, it was, I want to say 1:30, I went to start my engine and I hope I'm wrong, and it's just all in my head. I feel like it took a little bit, like, you know when you start an engine and it goes, and it turns on. Oh, I mean, I don't have a key, but I think I just saw another mosquito. I pushed the button and I feel like it took a little bit. And I'm praying to God that my battery is okay. I don't see why not. I'm not doing anything wrong here. Yes, the back is open, but nothing's powered by the car, and the car recognizes that everything is locked. Worst case scenario, I have my self-powered jumper cables, which I can't honestly tell you that I've ever done that before, but it looks relatively easy, right? I think the black goes on the negative and the red goes on the positive. Sorry, I'm also checking for bugs at the same time. I took some medicine to help me go to sleep, and I'm drinking my sleepy time teas. I really need to relax. I'm feeling so on edge. I was just laying here on my stomach, just watching some of the videos from earlier in the day so that I can edit it and create something for you guys. I've been very inconsistent. So I'm gonna let you go. because then if not, this video is going to be really long. It's going to take a lot of editing on my part to cut out parts where I say stupid things that don't really matter and make the video long. And I'll see you guys in the morning. Bye. Alright, so I know I said I was gonna go to bed and I said good night, but I realized I'm not sleepy yet. I'm still killing mosquitoes that are in here and I don't know why. I turned on the light so you can see the device that is supposed to repel bugs, as well as this, and there's a tent. Like, these mosquitoes are just brutal, insidious. I'm not sleepy yet, and I can't sit up anywhere in there. I can sit up on that little side, but it's obviously filled with all my nightstand stuff, so I can't sit there right now. I see another one. There it is. Son of a bitch. What's happening? There's a lot of mosquitoes tonight. What in the hell? I feel like there's more tonight than yesterday. See one around me, let me know. That was one right there. I know that was one. I don't want them in here at night. I might have to go back to the bathhouse in a little while for another potty break. I keep seeing them. You know where they're coming from? I mean, I have to show you, but down here where the tube, exhaust tube goes out, it's open. It's open to the outside. To the outside. Oh, look, there's one right there. The outside elements. And that's the best I can do. I mean, there's nothing I can do because this exhaust has to go outside. I have an idea. This might be kind of crazy, but because to get in and out means that I'd have to open it a lot more. I'm gonna try to stick the AC vent thing through the zipper as opposed to through the bottom, so that I create less of a gap, less of an opening. But this is not easy because it's 2 layers. Let's see if you guys can, I don't know if you can see what I'm doing. Let me just do it. Okay. Oh, I thought I turned it off. Let me show you something.